That is.
It is.
He gave his hair to art and his mind. There he is. Next up is ERIN PERRA. ERIN, come on up here. You gonna stand?
The day after I told my husband I wanted a divorce, I came into school and I taught my classes. I felt fragile, like at any minute I could simply shatter into 1,000 pieces. At lunch, in fact, I did shatter. I shattered into giant sobs in the back of my friend's Kia SUV. My two friends in the front tried to console me. They gave me awkward hugs, told me they were sorry for not knowing how bad my life had been at home. They also set up a plan to get me a substitute the next day. What was I doing coming into school like that for? However, the next day rolled around and I came to school. I was on 2 days of no sleep. I hadn't eaten. I felt I was no longer a physical entity, but just made of air. I had a headache that pounded relentlessly, but I taught. Boy, did I teach. I taught like my life depended on it. And when the bell rang and the students would pass from class to class, a little twist of pain stung my heart. Don't leave me, a little voice in me said. Where I teach, I am always used to hearing how much my students need me, to the point where it's exploitive. The teachers are human too. And in desperate times of need, teachers can need students. Because you see, what my friends didn't understand is I had nowhere to go. I need my students to give me the comfort and space to get respite from my loss and to allow me to be on solid ground, even if it was just for 50 minutes in an increment. In that moment, it made me realize the importance of the culture of school, not just for the education alone. For some, school is protection from home and escape. For others, school has the hustle and bustle of a small city where all are protected from the harsh realities of life. Friends and lovers are everywhere, and those teachers love us all unconditionally. Everyone says they need a vacation, and maybe they do, until they come back with desperate smiles only for their friends. How many of us adults know of someone who had a hard time moving on to adult life after high school or college? School and teaching was the only place I had to turn to when I was in the grips of a toxic marriage. I wasn't necessarily a good teacher that I couldn't concentrate, needless to say, but school was a good place to be. Teacher friends were the only place who saw as close to a me as I was willing to show. I had a lot I wanted to say but couldn't, so I wrote it down. I thought I would go back to school and get a master's in creative writing. I would dedicate myself to my own education. However, taking all what was left of me to say the word divorce, it seemed as if I had nothing left to say anymore, or nothing left to write down. I had no words left. That awful word erased all other words I used to write down, and now I find myself without any stories other than my own. I thought I would have at least one short story written by now. And that short story, that simple accomplishment, would not make me feel as such of a complicated failure. I thought I would have something to stomp, hum, or perform for you tonight, but I just don't. I hope one day the lonely divorce protagonist will leave my thoughts. But until then, she is the only one around struggling day to day, not only to feel so fucking guilty about feeling so fucking happy. I don't like her any more than I like that content wife. So for now, I will just teach. I will go to school. I will fill my students' brains with education and hope, or some cliche shit that teachers say. I will be me, the real me, and surround myself with it all. I will be a better teacher, and I'm sorry, that's just all I have for now.